Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing something a little differently today. My little sister recently told me that she wants to get started reading YA novels, but she doesn't really know where to start. So what I did was I went ahead and picked out a bunch of books for her that are just a general mix of different things. So that way, kind of like throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks, to see what she does like about each one and what she doesn't like about each one, so we can kind of narrow in and narrow down and figuring out exactly what her perfect books will be. So I thought this video would also help other people who were just getting into reading YA novels and didn't really know where to start, but also people who are just started reading in general and don't really know where to start on how to figure out what they like and what they don't like, and they're kind of intimidated because books can be kind of expensive these days. So maybe going over my method of how I'm going about figuring out for my little sister would help you as well. So let's get started. So I'm gonna start off with two of the books that my sister already knows about, already told her about, and that she's already nixed and said no to. So one of them I'm gonna keep for myself because it was my high school copy, and then the other one I'm going to put into a little free library for someone else to get and enjoy. So the first one is this one right here. It is the Isle of the Lost, a Descendants novel, book one. I got this one because it was written by Melissa de la Cruz, who I know is just a classic YA vampire novel writer, and my sister did like Twilight, so I thought she would like that kind of vibe. Also, I only know what the Disney Descendants are because of my sister, because she's watched those movies and TV shows or whatever they are, and so I thought she would enjoy this novel. I think she said she already read this one, so I was at least close. I was right. But I didn't notice it had the photos and everything in there. But I also just really like the whole, like the concept of Descendants. I think that's really neat, and so I thought she would like a beginner YA novel around that. I had one of the songs from one of these movies stuck in my head for so long, and occasionally it creeps back in there. And so I thought this was a good one. My sister already read it, I think is what she said. Or she was no longer interested in Descendants. I can't remember which one it was. But anyway, she didn't want this one. So this one's gonna be going to the little free library near my apartment for someone else to find and enjoy. Next is Looking for Alaska by John Green. My sister told me that she is not interested in anything from John Green, so I will not be getting any more from John Green for her. This is my copy from high school, as you can tell from it being a little old and a little worse for wear. I was obsessed with this book in high school. I may or may not have made John Green novels my personality for a little while before I discovered Twilight. This is also set in Alabama, which is where my family's from, so that's also fun. And I thought, like I said, John Green is just a good, solid YA novel writer, to where I thought that was a pretty safe bet to get those for her, get one of his books for her. But she's already read a few of his books and was just kind of meh about them, so she didn't want this one. But this was like I said, my copy. So I will, I'll be keeping this one. Next are my copies of the Vampire Kisses series. I have all three of the books. I think it's all three. Actually, now that I think about it, this is the whole series. That's what she does. This was the whole series when I had them. I don't know if they've written more or not. I've not actually looked into it, but the first three is a good starting point. She hasn't read all of Twilight, I don't think, but she did like what she did read, so I thought she would like some shorter vampire novels written around the same time period with the same vibes. What is even the story of these books? I didn't even remember. Let's see. The mansion on top of Benton Hill has been empty and boarded up for years, but a new family has moved in, a family that never ventures out during the day. Who are these creepy people? Especially the handsome, dark, elusive Alexander Sterling. Or rather, what are they? Could the town gossip actually be true? Are they vampires? Raven? Oh, I forgot the main female character's name is Raven. Oh, God. Oh, it's so stereotypical. It's so fun. Raven, who secretly covets a vampire's kiss, both at the risk of her own mortality and Alexander's loving trust, is dying to uncover the truth. I remember liking these a lot. I remember nothing about them other than liking them a lot. And then, yeah, I don't remember anything actually. Now I think about it, I can't remember a single thing. I don't remember the main female character's name. I don't remember his name. I didn't remember any of this. But I do remember liking these a lot. So, these are my copies. And so I didn't have to pay for anything for her to be able to have these. So that was nice. I would say free, but I did pay for, well, I didn't pay for them. My mom and dad did. I think this got these from I got these from like Scholastic Book Fair or something. A nice guilt-free. If she doesn't like them, it's totally fine. Like I said, I didn't pay for anything, so it's fine. But I thought she would like another YA vampire novel because she liked Twilight, and she did ask me to buy Vampire Diaries for her, which I did have a copy of Vampire Diaries originally, but unfortunately I donated it literally weeks before she asked me about it. So, oh well. But I did still have these. And she can keep those, honestly, because the only reason they're still on my shelf was because of they're so thin, and where they were on my bookshelf, I kind of forgot they were there, and so they didn't really make it into the same donation pile as Vampire Diaries. So the next one I got for her is the Mortal Instruments City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. My sister seems to really like and be more interested in the more classic YA novel book series, ones that were popular back when I was in high school and maybe a little bit after that, like when I was in college. And so I thought this was a pretty good solid one to get for her. I don't really know the story of this one very well, but I know it's really popular enough to get its own movie and I think a TV show as well. Let me just read the back real quick, because like I said, I really wasn't sure exactly what this one's about. When Clary Frey heads out to the Pandemonium Club in New York City, she hardly expects to witness a murder, much less a murder committed by 3 teenagers covered in odd markings. This is Clary's... Is it Clary or Clary? Whatever, Clary. This is Clary's first meeting with the Dark Hunters, warriors dedicated to ridding the world of demons and keeping the odd werewolves and vampires in line. It's also her first meeting with the gorgeous golden-haired Jace. Within 24 hours, Clary is pulled into Jace's world with a vengeance when her mother disappears and Clary herself is attacked by a demon. But why would demons be interested in an ordinary, mundane Clary? And how did she suddenly get the sight? The Dark Hunters would like to know. So I actually have my copy still, because I bought this literally forever ago, but I thought I had donated it because I had it since at least college. I've had it, I think I've had it since then, and I still have not read it yet, and I don't even remember what the story's about. So I was going to donate it. I thought I did, but I hadn't, and so I wish I'd remembered that, or I would have given her my copy instead of buying her one. But it's okay. This was only $1, so no big deal. So the next one I got for her is The Red Queen. This one came up whenever I did searches on other YA novels that she said she liked. So I didn't know anything about this one before doing all this for her. Let me just read the back for you. The Goodwill sticker is covering the top of the description. That's annoying. There, ripped it up enough. We're gonna read it. Okay. Mare Barrow's world is divided by blood, those with red and those with silver. Mare and her family are lowly reds, destined to serve the silver elite, whose supernatural abilities make them nearly gods. When Mare accidentally discovers a power of her own and she didn't know she had, the Silver King is forced to hide the impossibility of her power, pretending she's a long-lost silver princess betrothed to one of his sons. Soon Mare is drawn to the silver world, where loyalty and desire can tear you apart, and the only certainty is betrayal. And before long, her actions put into motion a deadly and violent dance, pitting prince against prince and Mare against her own heart. So reading the back of this, I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't a YA novel. This sounds like a lot of like romantasy books nowadays. This was written, I think, in 2015-ish. So just like, I guess the start of romantasy building its momentum to what it is now. So maybe that's why it kind of sounds like vaguely like a romantasy novel they would have out today. I will double check to make sure it's a YA novel. I'm like 90% sure it is, but I'll double check. Yeah, because I'm talking about betrothals and stuff when you think maybe it's not YA, maybe not. I don't know. But it sounded interesting, and I saw this being recommended a lot on Book Talk and stuff, so I thought maybe she might like it too. Since she doesn't know exactly what she likes and what she doesn't like, I've been kind of going off what is popular and kind of having that as like a baseline to figure things out and then work my way from that. Does that make sense? But that's the way I'm going about this whole thing. It's also why I've only been spending like $1 at most on most of these. So I say that, but the next book, The Inheritance Games, I actually spent a little bit more than $1 on because I got it from an indie bookstore that has also used books there, which I made a video all about if you want to check it out. I did a whole tour of that bookstore if you want to check it out. It's going to be linked above and down below and all that good stuff for you to check out. But several friends of mine have been recommending this to me for a while, and so I thought I would go ahead and get it for her and also for myself. So I'm going to read the back real quick. Avery has a plan for a better future, survive high school, win a scholarship, and get out. See, that sounds like a YA novel more than The Red Queen does. Anyway, but her luck changes in an instant when billionaire Tobias Hawthorne dies and leaves her virtually his entire fortune. The only catch? Avery must move into his sprawling mansion full of secret passages, riddles, and codes. Unfortunately for Avery, Hawthorne House is also occupied by the family that was just disinherited. Well, that's gonna be awkward. This includes the 4 Hawthorne grandsons, dangerous, magnetic boys who grew up with every expectation that one day they would inherit billions. Heir apparent Grayson is convinced that Avery is a con woman, and he's determined to take her down. But his brother Jameson views her as their grandfather's last hurrah, a twisted riddle, a puzzle to be solved. Caught in a world of wealth and privilege with danger around every corner, Avery will have to play the game herself just to survive. It kind of reminds me of Ready Player One a little bit. Like, but from a different point of view of the same thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, in Ready Player One, there was another reclusive, weird billionaire who left all his millions, his money, to whoever can find like this piece in like the game he made or something. I can't remember exactly. This is kind of, I feel like a little similar, like similar-ish, kind of, and that sounds like fun. So I justify spending a little bit more on this one than the others because of this one. I'm gonna keep for myself. When she's done reading it, I will want it back because I also found the rest of the books in the series at Goodwill, like a few days after I got home from the trip from getting this one. So I actually have the entire series here now. So this one's like kind of for me, kind of for her. And the next is The Summer I Turned Pretty. I know this one got turned into a Netflix series, so I know it must be pretty good, at least, or at least a lot of people think so, or it wouldn't be turned into a TV show. And so I went ahead and got this one, especially when I saw that it was on sale for even less than $1 at my Goodwill, because I got it on one of the half off days. So I got this one for really cheap. And so if she doesn't like it, that's totally fine. But let me read the back for you, because I didn't know what the story was about at all, because I don't have Netflix, so. When each summer begins, Bella leaves her school life behind and escapes to Cousin's Beach, the place she has spent every summer of her life. Not only does the beach house mean home away from home, but her favorite people are there. Susanna, her mother's best friend, and her sons, Conrad and Jeremiah. Bella has been chasing Conrad for as long as she can remember, and more than anything, she hopes this summer will be different. Despite distractions from a new guy named Cam, and lingering looks from Conrad's brother Jeremiah, Bella's heart belongs to Conrad, and will he offer his to her? Will this be the summer that changes everything? It just sounds like a sweet book series about, you know, young love and everything like that. And like I said, it got turned into a Netflix series that looks pretty good and well done. And so that does mean that this book has to have something behind it. And like I've said before, since my sister doesn't really know exactly what she likes and what she doesn't like, I'm getting books that seem popular or are somehow close to books that I know that she has read that she did like, or the ones that I really liked when I was younger. Because one of the things that my sister used to do when she was younger was that she would ask me and then Ashley, our other sister who's only a few years younger than I am, what we really liked when we were younger, around her age, and then when we tell her, she'll go and she'll binge watch all of it. And so I'm kind of doing the same thing but with books, and that's why I'm giving her some of my old ones, or at least what YA novels I have left. And then once she reads all of them, or she's figured out what she likes and she doesn't like, I'm hoping that'll give us a better understanding of what she wants, and then we can work from there to figure out some more books for her. And then last but not least is Better Than the Movies. I actually just finished recording my video of everything I read in June, and this was in there because I went ahead and I read it because, once again, friends were recommending it to me and I've seen so much about it. So I usually don't like YA novels, and so maybe I was like, oh, maybe this will be different. Maybe I'll really like this one. I did like it. I didn't love it because, once again, like I said, YA novels are not really my thing anymore. But I thought it was such a sweet love story. It was so adorable sweet, so like bubblegum cotton candy sweet. So I think my sister would like this one. I'm not sure, because like I said, even she's not sure exactly what she likes, but it seems like a really popular one because I saw this all over Book Talk and Booktube for a while, and so I thought she would like it too. So that's all the books that I got for my sister to get her started on her YA novel journey, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any recommendations for her, please leave them down below in the comments. And I hope this video also helped you out if you're trying to get started in reading YA novels. Maybe this gave you some ideas. But also, not just that, maybe this also helped you if you're just getting started reading it or something again and you don't know how to figure out what you want to read and where to really start. This will give you an idea of my method of how I'm getting my sister started, where you just kind of get a good general mix of things and make sure all the books are pretty inexpensive, so that way you don't feel guilty about not liking something or anything like that. So I hope this video helped you. If you did like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!